What color did the Romans wear? Well, according to almost every single movie series and TV series and video game series in the history of basically the universe, red. Skyrim, Rome Total War, Rome 2 Total War, Gladiator, they all had soldiers who were Roman or based on Romans who were wearing red under their armor. But then you have games like Rise Sons of Rome where some of the characters wore blue under their armor. And then if you're a Total War fan, you might notice in Rome Total War that the Scipii and the Brutii factions were blue and green. And in the Europa Barbora mod for Rome Total War, there were also some Romans wearing blue tunics as well, and blue shields, etc., etc. And in the movie Gladiator, Commodus wore purple and gold and sometimes white under his armor. His Praetorian Guard can be seen wearing purple and black armor. So is this all historically accurate? But before we get into all that, a quick disclaimer. I'm a history major, so you know what that means. Other than that, I'm gonna be stuck working at Starbucks for the rest of my life. Let's start with blue. Blue to the Romans represented the sea, so blue tunics probably wouldn't have been worn by most Roman legions, who were land infantry, but the exception could be if the sea was part of a unit or official's military identity. For example, the 30th Ulpia Legion had a special reverence for Neptune, so they're a possible candidate for wearing blue. Same with Roman ships' crews and marine units meant for boarding enemy ships. Sextus Pompeius, son of Pompey the Great, wore a blue coat in reverence of Neptune during his admiralship over the western Mediterranean Sea. What about green? I'm not really aware of any sources that mention it. If you are, please leave a comment letting me know, and if you also have the title and the author of the source, that would be awesome. What about white or off-white? Now, there's a very good reason you might assume that these would be popular colors for the tunics. In the Republican days, especially in the beginning, for the Marian reforms, Republican troops had to provide their own equipment. So you'd have to pay for your uniform yourself. So then it made good economic sense to have a woolen, undyed tunic. It would have an off-white color, it would be, in other words, its natural color, but you wouldn't have had to pay any money to dye it. But this is where red comes in. If we look at the chief architect of Rome during the beginning of the empire, Vitruvius, he says that red and yellow could actually be obtained for very little cost, and with very little effort. So it makes sense to have such colors if you're going to be dyeing the cloaks of thousands upon thousands of legionaries. Arrian talks about practice tunics worn by cavalry that were multiple colors. He also talks about some cavalry practice tunics that were orange or brown. We come to purple. Purple is rare. Purple is expensive. Purple is what the consuls would wear in the early empire. So as you can tell, this isn't a color you would want to take into battle. It's why I find it hilarious when I look at Rome Total War. The idea of the Roman Senate equipping all of their own faction's troops with purple is just, it's hilarious. Like, look at this. The peasants. The peasant unit is equipped with purple. Yeah, because you're going to give purple to your peasants. It's only what the consul, the highest ranking official in the army, wears. So of course it's suited for peasants, because, you know, that's how you communicate hierarchy. You have the lowest ranking troops wearing the same equipment as the highest ranking officials. That makes sense. And also, the velites. The velites are wearing purple. Velites are young. Velites are skirmish troops. They can be killed in the beginning stages of the skirmish by enemy missile troops. Why would they wear purple? They're expendable. What about the hastati? The hastati, yes, they're wearing purple too. The hastati were the front-line fighters. So if you have an expensive purple cloak and you give it to an hastati and he goes in the front line and fights, well, how's that a good idea? The hastati took the majority of the casualties in the battle. That was their job because they're young. They're young and thus they're expendable because you can just recruit more. If they become more experienced, you put them in the princeps. And then you have other young people with less experience go in the hastati. So why would you give these hastati if they're going to be in the thick of stabbing and slashing and cutting? Why would you give them purple? So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it gave you a good basic understanding of the different color schemes you'd see on the Roman troops. So anyways, have a great day and see you later. Bye-bye!